everybody. Welcome back to another edition of JUCO Cover 3. I'm Zach McKinstry. Alongside me is Alan Edward, and we had an eventful week in junior college football. We'll start with our ESPN Plus game of the week. Number 3 Snow, number 12 Butler, lived up to all the hype. Snow ended up winning in the final 5 seconds, 21-14 on a tipped pass caught for the touchdown. A huge win for Snow to move to 5-0. And Alan, what does it do for their momentum as we get into the gauntlet stretch of the season?
Oh man, one thing it gets for your team, man. Once your quarterback start rolling, the whole team start following behind. Following forward. Again with Donovan Smith, like I was telling you from last year. I remember last year just watching him. I knew he had that it factor in him, and he came back. He wanted to leave last year, but he came back this year, and he's starting to prove his point. I told you to watch that trigger man, and he definitely is that it factor.
Yeah, he had his ups and downs at the start of the game. The first half, they went down 14-0, and he had an interception that wasn't necessarily his fault, tipped off the receiver's hands, and then another one that was taken to the house for a pick six. And he responded in that fourth quarter with those drives at the end of the game to get him all the way down the field and work him into the red zone to get that game-winning touchdown. So that kind of veteran experience for a junior college, when a lot of it's a lot of young players, what does that do for a JUCO team?
It builds them up. Like I said, Tillman, I remember him last year too a little bit. He didn't play really too much, but I do remember him balling out. He did good last year, and for him to come up here and this year to actually come out and do what he's doing, it shows what the growth of Snow can be. And shout out to Donovan again. Keep pushing that whole team, the defense also, and again coming down 14-0, and with an interception and all those things that came and happened. He came and pushed forward and ended up winning that game. Shout out to them.
Yep, so Snow moves to 5-0, Butler to 2-2. Butler looked good in that game too. They showed a lot of flashes of talent, and I think they're a team that's going to be competitive moving forward the rest of the season. But not as competitive is this 99-0 finish. Number 1 Hutch beats Ellsworth. They set a number of records. I got them written down. 12 touchdowns, 813 all-purpose yards, and they tied the NJCAA record for scoring in a single game. What kind of statement did the Blue Dragons make beating down on Ellsworth?
Oh man, they for sure set a statement, and I remember just being on my phone and I saw that score. I just couldn't believe it because I was just so in shock. Shout out to them. For sure, they had a ground game going. Even Samari Colley had some rushing games going too, and I was just like, damn, like this is really happening right now. But this is for the books for sure, and we're gonna be talking about this for a while.
Yeah, they're number 1 for a reason. Wayman Jordan Jr. looked really good with his rushing game, and Hutch made it 105-0 at the end of the game with a pick six, but they overturned it, said he stepped out of bounds, so it wasn't a triple-digit beatdown. Instead, just 99-0, if that's any silver lining for the Ellsworth side. Last thing to talk about, big game coming up on Saturday. It is Snow, the number 3 team, traveling to number 2 Iowa Western. So that hard stretch of schedule continues for the Badgers, but no test is going to be bigger than this one on the road at Iowa Western. And if Iowa Western drops this game, they're a 2-loss team looking at maybe outside of the playoffs. A lot of implications into this game, and it should be a good one.
Oh yeah, Iowa Western do not have enough room to lose. They have to win out every single time if they want to make that playoffs. And for Snow, statement game. They go in here, they beat Iowa Western. Oh my God, they're gonna be on a high horse. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be rolling. So it's a big game for both teams, and hopefully, the best teams, come out and win. And of course, that defense has to play perfect because both offenses score. So it's gonna be a game for both of those teams.
Yeah, a lot of movement at the top right now. Mississippi Gulf Coast still undefeated. They're in one of those playoff spots. And then the Texas teams of Navarro and Kilgore, the best shots out of Texas, both lost last weekend. So they moved down the rankings. And it's just chaos up at the top. So that Snow Iowa Western game is going to mean a lot for those 4-team playoffs down the line. But that's all we got. It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. I'll be tuning in for sure, and we will see you guys back here next week breaking it down and the rest of the excitement on the JUCO scoreboard. So thanks, Alan.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, Zach.